in the words of several people's favorite page, did you miss me? I just upload a bunch of random content before doing this live stream, but it was next on my list. So here we go. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of Demand 1993. We are here live on this hot Sunday evening for my live review of this past week's AEW Dynamite live review from the April 20th, 2022 episode of Dynamite. And where did it take place? Where did that take place? In the city of black and gold, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at the Peterson Events Center, which is the home basketball court to the Pittsburgh Panthers. And of course, who, may you ask, who, may you ask, was there in attendance live in section 126? Row T, seats 4 through 6. A guy by the name of Daniel Gaiza, Joseph Miller, and yours truly, in seat 4 specifically, wearing a CM Punk shirt, your boy, the Club of Demand 1993. I had a really, really great time going to Dynamite this past week. It was the first episode of Dynamite I think we've had here in Pittsburgh since last August, right before Punk debuted. I had bought a Britt Baker t-shirt. I, of course, though, with Punk being back, and the first time, of course, I attended a live event with CM Punk at the event. And when was the last one I attended? Oh, yeah. Royal Rumble 2014, the day before Punk walked out and came back, of course, 7 years later, this past August. So I was excited, the fact that I was going to be seeing CM Punk live, wrestle live, and I was also going to get to be able to wear a CM Punk shirt to a wrestling event, finally. Although I'm pretty sure I probably wore it to, a few non-WWE events I've gone to. So, but this is the first time I actually got to wear a Punk shirt with Punk actually live. But I had a great time. I thought it was an excellent show. Of course, there was just a bunch of good things I witnessed on this show. The announcement from Tony Khan, the matches, especially my favorite match was definitely that opener. My favorite spot, my favorite promo, of course, we had that. We had the big announcement. We had a promo that, of course, we weren't sure who were the faces, who were the heels, but it was a pretty savage one. And the main event was good, but of course there's just one specific spot that I popped for that I will forever remember, that I thought was just awesome to see for sure. So whether you love AEW or not, I love it. I had a great time this past week when I went there live, and I look forward to talking about it. I did stay for the Rampage taping. Unfortunately, I was kind of tired, and I did start to, fade a little bit, and I wasn't really, paying the best attention, but of course, had to get energized up because I drove home. So, it was a late night, but again, it was worth it. And I think the next time that Dynamite's coming back to Pittsburgh's in August, I think. I plan on trying to go again. I would love to try to go again. What's up, T and Couponer? I did not get to buy any merch. Now, here's the thing. I wanted to get a popcorn. I just made my seats, because we got there probably around, quarter after, 20 after 7, I think it was. I had to use the bathroom, and then I waited in line, a long line. I want to get a popcorn. Unfortunately, they didn't have any big buckets, so I had to get a small thing of popcorn. But of course, later on when MJF came out, and he had a big bucket from up in the stands, which I know someone who was sitting like literally right next to where MJF was standing, which I thought was pretty cool. But then, of course, also, he had a large bucket. I'm like, damn it, that son of a gun took the last large bucket. And I could have had it if it wasn't for him. But nah, I did not get to buy any merch. The line was long, and it was kind of a little bit of a time crunch when we got there. But it was still a great time. But thank you, as always, TN Couponer, for joining me live. But let's roll in and let's talk about this show. And, of course, we had the big announcement that happened in this show. But we opened up to when I was just arriving at my seat, was when CM Punk made his entrance. CM Punk, Mr. Opening Match, because lately, anything that Punk's involved with is opening the show. I mean, if you want a hot opener, have CM Punk. People are going to pop for him every time he comes out. But he had a match with Dustin Rhodes, and it was awesome. Personally, my favorite match of the night. Very old school, very great psychology done. It was beautiful. I mean, they showed us signs of sportsmanship, but it was just a beautiful match to really heat up the crowd. I loved every second of it. Except for the finish. I thought the finish was a little bit odd. It was weird because Punk went for, I like the spot where Dustin Rhodes did Dusty Rhodes, punches and whatnot. And there was a spot also, I think, where, after that, he hit, the crossroads. I know when he was in WWE as Goldust, he called when Dustin Rhodes did the crossroads, they called it the final cut. Can't remember what it's called in AEW. But he did that, and then he hit a pile driver on Punk, and Punk still kicked out. But after that, Punk got him up for the fireman's carry for the GTS after taking a roundhouse kick. But then it looked like his leg gave out, and then they just, a little bit or something, and then they just sat down, and Punk just naturally took Dustin's legs and just held them there for the pin. It didn't look like a very convincing finish. It looked like Dustin just let him just pin him for the heck of it. Outside that finish, it was still an awesome match. And I knew Punk was going to win it. But Punk still has, a title on his mind. And afterwards, Punk and Rhodes embrace and help each other up. And then so sportsmanship. I'm wondering if Dustin was mentioning something about how the fact that, this is a pivotal place for Punk. Because, again, this is where he had his last match in WWE. And to come back and have a phenomenal match to erase a bad memory, probably that concussion and that horrible staph infection that he had, that of course he was never treated properly for. But afterwards, when he was going up the ramp, Punk, Hangman Adam Page came out. And the two shared a moment when they just looked at each other on the stage, and Punk just walked away. They're teasing it. I think this might be the main event of Double or Nothing. Hangman Adam Page, CM Punk for a world title. Woo. That's going to be good. Could we maybe see CM Punk win the title? And like I said before, too, it's kind of like a face-on-face match. What surprised like they did with Hangman and Danielson, and have turn one of them heel, because they turned Danielson heel because, again, as much as we love Bryan Danielson, and we know he's very charismatic, very likable, you admire that how much he is going out of his way. He knows he only has a couple years left. He's basically on his last ride right now. He's basically on his retirement tour. He's going to be wrestling, around the world, basically. He can do anything he wants because AEW doesn't hold you to just do just AEW only. But he's going out of his way to put people over. And if that's gonna happen by having him be hated and be a villain, that's what he's doing. Which, you can continue to respect that. But that's what happened with Danielson and Hangman went one-on-one. Could they maybe do something like that with Hangman and Punk? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, though. But yes, that match seems to be what they're heading towards for Double or Nothing. It seems like. Then we have some footage of Wardlow arriving, being met by Smart Mark Sterling. And Sterling tells him rules for his participation going forward, which includes he must be escorted to the ring, to the arena, being handcuffed, And also that MJF told him to tell him to eat shit, pig. And Wardlow just smiles and says, oink, oink, bitch. Basically, like, he's like laughing off the fact that MJF's calling him a pig. We then have, and I finally can remember the name of them now, Blackpool Combat Club's Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta took on a team of Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Pittsburgh's own Lee Moriarty in a very fun tag match. At the bell, though, it looked like, again, I'm still confused. Like, are we supposed to love the Blackpool Combat Club, or are we supposed to hate the Blackpool Combat Club? Because Danielson and Wheeler Yuta seem to consistently be, like, acting more like villains. Moxley's still showing more of, like, a face side at times. That's how, one week he's showing a heel side, and one week he's showing a face side. So I still can't tell what the dynamic is with the Blackpool Combat Club. But they're still awesome. And they even made, I thought they made, Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty look awesome. Especially, of course, Lee Moriarty, of course, being his hometown. I did hear rumors Darius Martin got hurt again. And it's another long-term injury, which is not good. But it's going to probably give Dante Martin another singles run again. But yeah, it was a very good back-and-forth match. And the Blackpool Combat win when Jon Moxley hit the paradigm shift on Dante Martin, which was pretty cool. But good match. I wonder, though, if these will eventually lead to trios tag titles. Because there is a lot of three-man stables coming up here. We got Blackpool Combat Club, Undisputed Elite. We got the House of Black. Jericho Appreciation Society maybe as well. Throw them in there. You want to do Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz if you want. Like, there's a lot there. Dark Order. We'll see. We have Adam Cole backstage. Now, this was weird because they had a segment showing on the Trons where I was sitting, but the audio wasn't on. So I guess Adam Cole was backstage with the Young Bucks and Red Dragon. Kyle O'Reilly asks where the Young Bucks of old are and admits they've lost lately, but they have to turn around and live up to the name of the Undisputed Elite. Tonight he's going to qualify for the Owen Hart tournament, and Cole agrees, saying, as a team, they won't be stopped. All the Bucks' other friends are gone, but they're still here, and Cole pitches an open challenge 10-man tag match next week. They can do it without the Bucks, and they need them. So please, think about it. Which I think they are getting a match with, like, a bunch, I think with, like, Martin, Anderson, Lee Moriarty, couple others I can't remember who was in, but we are getting that next week on Dynamite. And then of course we have a video package of Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal, and of course Satnam Singh from last week, which was a little bit of a letdown, of course. But then we have Tony Khan with this huge announcement, and it's what the rumors were speculating. We are going to be having on June 26th a pay-per-view called Forbidden Door, and it's going to be AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling coming together at the United Center in Chicago, which, again, Chicago's getting all these big events. They get the big events for AEW all the time. I'm jealous. But Chicago's a good city. I'm not going to crap on them about it. But it's just jealousy. Why can't they have a big one in Pittsburgh? Also, I also got to say this too. One downside, they need to have Dynamite at PVG Paints Arena and not the Pearson Events Center, because parking in Oakland, PA is chaos. Well, it wasn't so much parking this time, it was more so traffic. Lots of idiots, so it definitely would be, I feel like, they should consider. And here's the other thing, too. Apparently, the line was wrapped 3 times around the building before the doors opened, too. But yeah, jealous that Chicago keeps getting the big things. But, of course, before Tony Khan, and he also brought out President, if I mispronounced his name, I apologize, Takami Obari to announce it. Adam Cole cuts them both off and says he's the man most suited to make this announcement, and he announces the pay-per-view. He also says we'll have a preview on Rampage as he and Tomohiro Ishii will wrestle in an Owen Hart qualifier on Friday on Rampage. And he also has a very special friend who wants to come out right now and say hello, which he recently was introduced but he kind of disappeared for a while. And that is, of course, Switchblade Jay White, who says it's no coincidence that the last time New Japan had a big co-promotional show with an American promotion that sold out Madison Square Garden, and it's not about New Japan or AEW, it's about the Undisputed Elite and Bullet Club because it's still their era. So, yeah, I mean, that could be headline, like, Adam Cole, Red Dragon, Young Bucks, Jay White. Again, I don't watch much New Japan, so other members of the Bullet Club. Kenny Omega could maybe come back. This could be where Kenny Omega maybe comes back, because I heard the earliest he may be able to come back is June. So, I feel like they're going to be the headliners of this show some way or some form. But I know a lot of people are excited about this. Again, like, to me, I think it's going to be cool. I don't watch much New Japan, but I definitely, am interested to see, because you hear about, like, the Jay Whites, the Will Ospreys, the Kota Ibushi's, of course, Zack Sabre Jr. as well. Some people from the Cruiserweight Classic. Kenta. I know people are saying the match they should do at Forbidden Door is CM Punk versus Kenta. I'd say go for it. Whether Punk is champion or not, because he's probably going to be fighting Hangman at Double or Nothing or by Double or Nothing, you gotta do him and Kenta. GTS versus GTS. I know people are saying, like, Bryan Danielson versus Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., or I say Danielson versus Kota Ibushi as well. Man, you got a lot. I mean, again, you got a lot of options. Again, like I said, I don't watch much New Japan, so I can't really give too many matches I want to see. But I think that's going to definitely be a show to see something different. And just, again, another reason another thing to get back why I like AEW. They don't want to just fill their egos and say, oh, AEW does this, AEW does that. No. It just feels like they want to share the excitement of wrestling. Like, they acknowledge, like, the best wrestlers, not just within AEW. They want to, do stuff like, bring people from, Impact and New Japan. It's a very, like, respectful, business that's just looking to, do more and just say, hey, here in AEW, or like every commercial of WWE, it's like, WWE's YouTube channel now has this many, subscribers. That's more than MLB, NHL. It's like, they're looking to me to, celebrate different, avenues of wrestling, which I like, and it's why I am intrigued by this Forbidden Door pay-per-view. But I think, I can't predict too many matches yet, but I think Undisputed Elite is going to be like big headliners of that show, I think, for sure. And of course, seeing the Bullet Club be awesome. We didn't have a segment with Jade Cargill, and apparently Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan are now heels, and they're baddies with Jade Cargill. Random okay, but she's hyping up her match with Marina Shafir on Friday as she attempts to go 30-0 with the TBS title. Also, we have MJF and Shawn Spears with that freaking large popcorn bucket that I wanted. It was mine, but MJF took it. They were standing up in the crowd, poking fun at the crowd, and of course, and who they cheer, and basically how Wardlow's a nobody, how he doesn't even get music, and Wardlow, of course, was escorted to the ring in handcuffs with no music, and then he pretty much squashed the Butcher, and then, of course, he just, led away with the handcuffs. We have Eddie Kingston kind of promo telling Daniel Garcia none of their stablemates will be allowed in the building for their match at Rampage on Friday, and tell Jericho to watch because everything he does to Garcia is meant for him. He's going to have fun, whip Daniel real good, and his friends and family won't even recognize him. And And then we have a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Kyle O'Reilly. And it was a solid match. And to a lot of people's surprise, Kyle O'Reilly won. I thought this was definitely going to be Jungle Boy, but they're giving it to Kyle O'Reilly. Which, cool. And I'm for this because, I definitely have always thought Kyle O'Reilly had very good singles potential. He did have his singles run in NXT. It was good, but I still felt it could have been better. But, hey, give him a chance to showcase off. Of course, this does make me think that of another match that was announced for this coming week on Dynamite that I am very excited about for sure. Which we'll have to talk about that in a bit. But yeah, to my surprise, Kyle O'Reilly wins. Christian Cage came out down the aisle to console Jungle Boy for his loss, which a lot of people are still wondering if Christian Cage is going to turn heel soon. I think it is possible. He very well could. We'll have to wait and see, though. Then we have MJF, who says the Butcher didn't get the job done, but he then basically bribes Jake Roberts, and now I guess Wardlow's next opponent is going to be Lance Archer, which I think they're fighting this coming week, I think. Not sure. I think it's the case. Hook made his Dynamite debut, and he beat Anthony Henry. Afterwards, though, Dan Housen gets in the ring and challenges Hook to a match, which will be intriguing. And then we have, okay, let's get to the first. Before we get to this, we had something in between this. We did have a hype reel for Thunder Rosa. But then we have Frankie Kazarian being interviewed backstage. It's been a while, Frankie. He was teasing a challenge to Sammy Guevara, the now 3-time TNT champion who won the title off of Scorpio Sky this past Saturday, which, bummer, because definitely, I really thought that Scorpio Sky was going to be just a transitional champion for Wardlow, but now that after he did drop the belt to Wardlow, they could give him a little bit of a longer run here. But of course, we're going to be talking about Sammy Guevara here in a second. But anyways, Scorpio Sky interrupts Kazarian, and he's had time to reflect, and he's had a hell of a run, and none of that would be possible if it wasn't for Kazarian, since, of course, they were tag partners with SCU at the beginning of AEW. He needed a shot and asked for a favor, and the rest is history, and he's here to ask for one more. He wants Frankie to wait and let him challenge first, and he'll give him a shot if he wins. And they agree. So they agree, and then we got the controversial couple, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conchi, who of course came out and made out on the stage, and I was of course there live. I just kept my mouth shut. They got booed out of the building. They got the white heat boos that Cody Rhodes was getting before he left AEW. Like the boos that Roman Reigns got the night after WrestleMania 33. The boos that, of course, that the Royal Rumble 2015 got, it was very heavy. So they came out, they got on the microphone. And Sammy says he loves this and he feels like he's on top of the world as a 3-time TNT champion, with the love of his life in the ring with him. He loves everyone that cheers for him, too, and he'll give them everything forever because they deserves it. And as far as the rest of them turning their backs on them, first chance we got, and why? You got one option. Be mad. Basically brags that his girlfriend's hotter than ours or whatnot. So I took that as, like, it does seem like, because I heard rumors that Sammy came out of Battle of the Belts kind of looking more so like a heel. But obviously now, again, here's the thing. Like back in the beginning when this whole thing with Sammy Guevara going out with Ty Conchi first started, and how it was like not long after Sammy proposed to his girlfriend of 8 years, and then it just dropped dead, and then, of course, he's with Ty Conchi, which people kept saying he left his old girlfriend with Ty Conchi again. I don't know that thing, but to me it's like it was what it was. But they are very, very public about their relationship. They're very public with their PDA. Like, I hate to say it, but they've asked for the boos they got. Like, it's okay to, have, like, touchy-feely, love language. It's okay if you guys enjoy that. But with how public they are about it, these boos, they deserve it. Like, they gotta tone down on it, but this promo obviously shows that Sammy knows that, people think he's an awesome wrestler, but they hate how public he is about his relationship with Ty. And basically that promo was just like, yeah, I'm still a babyface, but if you hate me, too bad, basically, is what I took it as. Then out comes the Men of the Year and Dan Lambert. Scorpio, of course, says, is that how it's going to be? Turning his back on the fans and everyone who supported them? The feeling in the room right now isn't screw them, it's screw Sammy. And then Ethan Page gets on the mic and just starts flipping out. And he goes, not a single person here paid for a ticket to see him talking into a microphone. And the only reason why they're not kicking his ass now is because Dan decided tonight is about business. And he really got fired up with that promo, which he got big time pops for it. Dan Lambert then talks about youth being wasted on the young and says Sammy is a perfect example of that. He spends so much time to win these people over, and he wasted it because he wanted... This is my favorite line of this promo. He wasted it because he wanted to act like some high school douchebag who can't keep his tongue out of his girlfriend's mouth. And I was like, oh! Burn! Like, I'm sorry, but that is so, so true. I mean, yes, there is people who like to just make out. There are people who like to, just stick the tongue in their significant other's mouth. But we don't have to know every time it happens. And Sammy and Ty, I think we know it most of the time it happens. But that was a burn. That was a burn right there. I definitely put that up there with Ronda Rousey telling John Cena the only door she ever knocked down was the door. Well, Ronda Rousey telling Nikki Bella the only door she ever knocked down was a door to John Cena's bedroom, and it was the same door he threw her right back out of. But, oh yeah, it was good. And then, of course, Dan gives Sammy two choices. Give Sky his rematch or take a beating from the Men of the Year. To which Sammy says, we'll take the rematch if you give him the mixed tag match. To which Sky accepts. And then this coming week, we're going to have a ladder match with Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky for the TNT title. So I guess that mixed tag match is taking place at Double or Nothing. Who knows? But of course, the question is here, of course, is this going to result in a double turn? Because, like I said, Sammy Guevara is awesome, but again, he has so asked for this heat. Him and Ty have so asked for this heat. If they're in love, great. If they love to go to bed full round the line, excellent. But with how public it is, it's like, okay, tone it down. We don't always need to see it, but they're not toning it down. No, it's getting reactions. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep going all the way, baby. And he's going to continue to be that teenage douchebag who shoves his tongue down his throat. I loved the line. I loved it. This was my favorite promo of the night for sure. It was definitely my favorite promo. The House of Black cut a cryptic promo about how they're owed a death, and they basically said next week the son dies, so we'll see what they do. They do this coming week. And then, of course, we have the hometown girl, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and an Owen Hart Foundation tournament qualifying match, taking on Danielle Camella, who I didn't realize is Vanessa Bourne. And the match was quick. Britt, Danielle Camella acted like the heel. Britt, despite the fact she's still a heel, acted like the babyface. Of course, you had to be in her hometown. Of course, I think Britt came out with a couple Steeler players that I didn't recognize. But afterwards, of course, she wins with the lockjaw with a Steelers glove on her hand. She will qualify for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. She gets on the mic and addresses her native, Pittsburgh. Now again, if it wasn't my first show with Punk back, I definitely would have wore my DMD t-shirt. But Britt says the last few weeks have made it clear that the women's division is a disaster without her. She runs down the women's division, insulting Ruby Soho, telling Toni Storm that Jamie Hayter's going to make her want to leave this company too. I forgot about that line. That was good, savage there. And she also says Jade Cargill called Pittsburgh ugly, but the only people here that wanted to see her are the baddies she comped tickets for. So that was a good promo there. She's in the tournament. We also get a hype video for Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb in their finale match next week. We also hype it up next week matches as well. And then we have the main event, which is this coffin match between Darby Allin and Andrade El Idolo. Excellent match, but of course my favorite spot of this match, no doubt about it. And I was sitting, if you're looking, so my view was, you see the stage, you know, the camera I think would have the stage to the right. I was sitting like right over in the left. And so I had a clear view from Sting's left. I had a good view of this. My favorite part of this match, no doubt about it, was an awesome match. Great spots for sure from Darby Andrade. But my favorite spot was when Sting, at 63 years old, jumped off that balcony and took everybody off. I went nuts for that. That was an awesome moment there. Darby, of course, would win, putting Andrade inside the coffin. And afterwards, Sting, of course, came out to celebrate, and the Hardy Boys appeared on stage, and they did the delete hand gesture in celebration of Andrade's defeat, and that's how the show went off the air. Like I said, I did stay for Rampage. I didn't pay as well attention, though, because I was kind of tired, but I did see Adam Cole versus Tomohiro Ishii, which was good. The main event was Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir, which was okay. I think Eddie Kingston on Daniel Garcia, so it was fine. But like I said, I didn't really pay attention to it because I was tired. But I gave this show a B+. Again, my favorite match definitely was that opener, except for the finish. I like how we're going to tease the match with Punk and Hangman Adam Page for the title, probably at Double or Nothing. My favorite promo was still that promo with Dan Lambert and Sammy Guevara and Ty Conchi, and the line of calling Sammy a high school douchebag who can't keep his tongue out of his girlfriend's throat. Although, give Britt credit saying that Toni Storm will want to walk out of this company too or whatnot. But excellent show. And of course my favorite spot also was still Sting jumping off of the balcony, which was awesome. But yeah, I gave this show a B+. Let's check the live chat here. Maybe you could do a New Japan versus AEW matches you want to see. Maybe I could, like I said, I just don't know too many people from New Japan. That's the only problem, though. We got Anthony. What's up, Anthony? How are you tonight, Mike? Who do you think is going to dethrone Hangman Page to the World Championship? I'm honestly going to say it. I think it's going to be Punk. Like I said, I would like to see, because I do see Tyler's comment in the live chat here, I want to see Punk win the title. Who will dethrone him? Hang on one second. You looking forward to FTR taking on that? I forgot to mention that. I am excited to see Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler go one-on-one this coming week. That's going to be awesome. It's for an Owen Hart Cup qualifier. That, to me, has feels of what the Cruiserweight Classic match with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano had back in 2016. I can't wait for that match. Again, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler both had singles matches recently. I think Harwood more so. Harwood had that match thing against Punk, I think. That has showed that, they can go ahead as single stars. And it felt like, it was just them and their tag team as single stars. So I'm very excited about that match with Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler going one-on-one with each other. Tyler gave the show a C, and he says Samoa Joe should be world champion. Getting back to what I was saying before, I think Punk is going to dethrone Page. And as I said also, Samoa Joe being a babyface to me, is usually just when he comes into a new place and people are on fire, he's excited to be there. But the core of his work is as a heel. You saw that, of course, in NXT. What if they have Samoa Joe turn heel later on this year at either All Out or even Full Gear? Or if they do it on an ROH show, who knows? What if Samoa Joe wins both the ROH and the AEW World titles? If there's anybody I think that's meant to pull that off, it's Samoa Joe. And again, him and Punk are good friends. That's why I'd say have Punk be the one to dethrone Hangman, and then Joe dethrones Punk to be both Ring of Honor and AEW World Champion. That's what I'd like to see personally happen. But what do you guys think? I do have a couple more videos, short videos I want to do. I have 2 topics that may be a little bit longer that I was originally going to do live, but I think I'm going to, because of how busy I'm going to be, again this week, I'm going to try to, I don't think I'm going to get to them tonight, maybe, who knows, because I want to take a break and play a little bit more Nintendo after this. But I do have 2, let me see here, the 2 videos I have on my list. What I have left is, I have a topic video about Veer I want to do. Just want to mention something that I found out this week. Another heel turn, and Miguel Cabrera's 3,000 hit, and then 2 other video topic videos that I want to do involving wrestling that I want to post. That I was going to do live at first, but I think I'm going to just pre-record those. But let me take a little break from doing content. This is the 6th video I've done tonight, and I'll try to get most of those last 5 videos done tonight if I can. If not, if I don't finish tonight, I will finish tomorrow. That's what we'll do it, guys. Again, B+ for Dynamite in Pittsburgh. I had an awesome time. What are your guys' thoughts on Dynamite for this past week? Are you guys also excited about AEW New Japan's Forbidden Door taking place in June? Make sure you leave us down in the comments section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Till then, guys, I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.